Man United, oh my God.
Oof.
They win the game 2-1. Scott
You
McTominay.
start me off with Man United because I've had a good chat. So you start me off with your overview of a Manchester United 2-1 win, 2 late goals by a substitute who comes on that gives incredible scenes that we're all in football for those kind of moments, but give me a more thoughtful opinion of Manchester United and where we are despite a 2-1 win against Brentford at home.
I think you know what I'm going to say. Listen, first off, I mean the determination to flip and find a way is admirable. I know that this is inbuilt now at Man United, given the history with previous managers and titles won, etc., late goals, etc., etc. That is great. The desperate nature to the football, and what I mean by desperate nature to the football is when, we got to find a way here. We got to find a way. It's usually the desperation comes in the last 10, 15 minutes. It came early. They conceded a goal. 26 minutes, I think it was Matthias Jensen scores for Brentford. And then they kind of went into desperate mode. The fans demand that and get home against Brentford. And then you get into the Man United, Rob, that looks chaotic. It looks chaotic. And with people popping up in different spots and a little bit gung-ho and like whatever it takes, we got to find a way to get back into it. And they did that. My only kind of concern is you can't play like that every week. It wasn't as if it was a kind of thoughtful, structured, rhythmed way to get back in and win the game. It was a desperate football plan from the team, and they found a way. And well done to the subs that was made by the coach. I mean, he came in the 87th minute, Scott McTominay, Rob, but and the fans loved it. Yeah. But there's something that's still troublesome or worrisome that. Yeah. Wow, it looks so blimmin' off the cuff is maybe it's a little bit too harsh, Robert, but some of the players that they've got, I mean, there's a big lack of form of certain players. There's just no grooved nature to Manchester United. They find a way to win the game, well done, but you can't sit there if you're a Man United fan super confident of the future, given it was like the World Cup final victory at the end of the whistle when they beat Brentford 2-1 at Old Trafford. Am I being harsh there on Manchester United, my friend? No,
because I think we're observers of the football club, a club that we understand its value, have played against its teams, have known what success means, realise its size in Europe, in the world, the reach of things. So we're not just going to jump on it. It's a great 2-1 win, Scott McTominay, because that's important. And that's an important, listen, Manchester United can still find ways with individuals because of a legacy that's been around our football club to have those moments. And you know what? We should enjoy those moments because... and they're special moments, Rob. With 10 minutes to go, you put a sub on a kid who's come through the academy from 5 years of age, and he gets 2 goals in 7-8 minute spell that wins you a match. It's magical. And if the fans go home, and some of them go home happy, and that's fine, because they go happy if Man United win and maybe not so happy when they lose. So we should enjoy that, and we should never poo-poo that and put it down, because it's an important element of football. Just because we've been in it and played it, not everybody wants to break it down. But, Rob, if this is going to happen, at half-time, Manchester United got booed off. 10 minutes before we get into injury time, those fans are probably half are leaving, half are getting ready to boo again, because that was unacceptable, what they see. I wrote a couple of things down, Rob, and I didn't quite... I just wrote them down in terms of, as I was watching things, there's a bit of a... I don't know if fear's the right word, but there's no... People don't want to take risk at Man United with their passing, with their movement, with their ball, when they've got it, taking people... It's like a lack of something. Confidence, I don't know. There's an untidiness about Manchester United that's awkward, Rob. They're untidy. Yeah. When you look at Brighton and Villa...
They're not pleasing on the eye.
They look untidy, like they need to smarten up your Man United. And the other thing, Robbie, Luke's, and I wrote the word down again, it was just a word, they look unrehearsed. You know, they've not done the reps. Yeah. They've not done the reps, so we know where we are. It just and I'm thinking, this is Man U. Man United aren't untidy. Untidy could be Nottingham Forest when they come up, or untidy could be Wimbledon back in the day. We were untidy, because that's how we played. But Man United, with what they've spent and what they've got, shouldn't be untidy, mate. And it brought me to my conclusion was that it's brilliant for Scott McTominay, and he's got his couple of goals. And I pose the question, Rob, is he part of Manchester United's best 11? I would say no. Should he play in the next game away at Sheffield United? I'd probably say yes.
All right, my friend. That brings me nicely into my very easy pick for underappreciated performer, who is Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay is vastly underrated at the football club right now as it stands. With the influx of Casemiro, of Amrabat, of Mason Mount, of other people that play in there, he is cast aside. Eric wants to move forward with more quality players. McTominay's a little bit basic. I think he suffers, Rob. He suffers and has suffered from the joking of what they call it, the McFred midfield. The McFred midfield of McTominay and Fred. And it ain't silky. It's not silky. But one player, probably either player, by the way, would look a lot better if the other was a little bit more silky. I think Scott McTominay, Rob, has enough attributes to be in the starting 11. There you go. So there I disagree with you.
You would say he's part of Manchester United's best 11
Well,
players,
I don't see any other midfield player now playing well enough to say he shouldn't be in the team for me. I don't see Casemiro playing very well. His legs have looked a lot weaker from what we've seen. Mason Mount is a more attack-minded player. From Amrabat, maybe. McTominay is tough. He gets his foot in. He runs into the goal. Eriksen is part of the stopgap nature. There were a few signings at this football club. Listen, Rob, I'm not there yet, right? I'm not there yet. I've got a big Man United rant coming on. What I feel this club needs, right? And it is a absolute total strip down. Total strip down from every part of the football department of that football club needs to be stripped down and ripped up and started again.
There a minute. You got to hold me there a minute. So let's just get Scott, and let's give Scott the credit of underappreciated, because he is underappreciated. They were going to try and get him out the door to West Ham, and was it Newcastle, and even Bayern Munich got mentioned, blah, 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 blah. And he is underappreciated because, you know what, without him at the weekend, we're talking about serious problems with this 3 straight defeats and all the rest of it. And he gets goals, Rob. Whether he's in the best 11, I would debate that, but let's have that debate. Where you're moving to, the bigger picture of, at the start of our conversation, is the strip down. Is this thing needs totally rebuilt.
Correct.
Have we not been there? Is this not where wasn't this start point one for Ten Hag?
Nope.
Isn't most of these players Ten Hag's players?
No. Nope.
So are you suggesting somebody else? Are you suggesting we continue this route? Or are you contesting we go back and start the whole thing again with Eric Ten Hag?
We start the whole thing again, Rob, and why I wasn't sure about saying this today is we still have the same ownership, right? And what I'm talking about can't happen until
doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the only way that what I'm suggesting will ever happen is if a new owner takes place. Let me give you a little analogy. I'm not sure it's great, but just consider the new ownership at Chelsea Football Club. And that is a total strip down. A total strip down. All directors, CEO, chairman, directors of football, manager, academy staff, first team staff, everything. A total strip down. And listen, it ain't going brilliant right now, but that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Another example, Robbie Earl. Arsenal Football Club. Not quite a total strip down, but a big strip down.
No.
New director of football in Edu. Different manager, Mikel Arteta. An absolute exodus of the David Luiz, your Aubameyang, your other players that were not up to job that Unai Emery had to try and deal with, Rob. Stripped off, stripped down. Everybody gone, a whole new playing staff, and look what's happened after their big strip down. I could even say it a little bit, it's a force, Tottenham. Over half of the team is different. They've got rid of Paratici is gone. They've got rid of Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
They're bringing a new director of football in. The manager's different. It's not the same degree. Now, back to Manchester United. The directors of football who's picked the recruitment that are struggling now, like your Antonys, your Jadon Sanchos, your other players that haven't really done it, comes off of two people. Ed Woodward and John Murtagh, the directors of football, really, in the last few years, they've picked the players now that are struggling to perform. When I'm talking strip down, you strip it down from the very top. How about a new chief executive of football, director of football, and then from down that, you have a whole new recruiting department in terms of who you pick. Now, whether Erik ten Hag can still be the main coach, maybe he can. But everything around him, Rob, has to change. Back to the playing staff. They've made signings, Rob, in these last few years, and Varane's 30. You got a quick, what they call we call it a sticking plaster over issues. Christian Eriksen passed his best. Casemiro passed his best. Varane passed his best. Young players, expensive players that haven't really done it in Jadon Sancho, and Anthony's still the jury's out on him. There's so many things that are a result of those directors making those big decisions. Strip it all out, Rob. Start again with the squad, with the staff, with the directors. It can only happen if the ownership changes, and that's what I think needs to happen, Rob. We saw it with Arsenal. They got rid of all these players that were experienced and attitude and all that. Get rid of them all. They had young players coming through, which absolutely helped. I don't know whether Man United have got the same bunch to come through, but hasn't it helped Arsenal when you stripped out everything? And Chelsea are in the middle of trying to do that. I'm saying United need it.
I get your argument, and I don't disagree. Where I'm a little uncomfortable is, I almost feel that, and I know you've picked John Murtagh against the Ed Woodwards, and listen, some people would suggest that John Murtagh was the right guy. He's brought in a lot of players, Rob, who Ten Hag has wanted. They've got rid of a number of players who Ten Hag's not wanted.
Yeah, okay. Is he in it? Maybe he's in it as well. Then
it's starting to look like a Ten Hag team now. It's not playing as well, and there's no, it's untidy as we say, but it's still a bit of a Ten Hag team. So I think
you chuck him in as well.
Give him
then,
a total free pass on this.
All right.
Yeah, I'm saying that's got to be up for debate, because the other scenarios you've had, people have had to go, Arteta had to go through the Ten Hag years to get to where they are now. And by the way, that was an ownership group that was getting hammered, the Cronkies.
They stripped it out, Rob. They chased some big changes.
Arteta in, and then, but Manchester United made some big changes, Rob. The Ronaldos of the world going out the door. The play. I mean, what they haven't been able to do is
there's so many, Rob. There's so many. Ronaldo, should he have come in? David De Gea, should that have happened? There's so many decisions, the big ones that we all thought were good calls. Were they?
Well, the problem you've got now is, and I named three players here. Casemiro, Rob, is a real anomaly, because I can't quite work out how a player of that ability and that control last season seems to be, one, nowhere near the energy and the athletic levels.
He's older, isn't he?
Almost as he's playing like he's also. But by the way, he's running in behind the centre forwards and doing. He looks like he's more interested in scoring goals than stopping goals, which isn't Manchester United's. Well, it's sort of an issue, but I get him. The goalkeeper, Rob, is going to become an issue if he keeps diving over balls like he keeps diving over balls at the moment. It's going to be an issue. Because you talk about Raya for Arsenal. Onana at the moment fills me with no confidence whatsoever. It looks like if you can get a shot on target, you get 10 shots on target, 2 of them could end up in the back of the net with this guy at the moment. He's all over the place. So that's got to change. And then there's another guy, Rob, and it's not easy always to be critical of somebody who does so much great work outside of football, has been a pillar and come through the club. Marcus Rashford, my friend, is taken a massive step backwards since of the player we saw last year. He's gone to the player we thought before last year, where we say, is he ever going to be consistent? His decision making, his body language, his ability to run back and be part of a midfield that has to protect Rob. He has no inclination to do that whatsoever.
No. Listen, mate.
I mean, they're three of your big players in your team.
Yeah. And listen, I guess we should. I mean, they won the game, right? They won the game, and United fans might be frustrated now. I'm just looking. They're 10th place in the league table. They're 8 points behind the top of the league table right now after 8 games. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can find a way. And I mean, remember, this was the most expensively assembled squad in world football. A big report was out a few months ago saying that Man United's team, even ahead of the Chelsea. Yeah, United's team was the most expensively assembled squad in world football. And so something with that, they're not getting a great bang for the buck. That's what I'm saying. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for bringing it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, Rob, but they won the game. We give him credit. Scott McTominay's my underappreciated performer. I think he's not bad. I wouldn't want to play against him. He's big. He's aggressive. He runs into the box. Got his couple of goals. Well done.
Maybe we're all getting carried away with the foreign players and the flair players. Maybe that's what United have always had, haven't they?
Yep.
Darren Fletcher or someone in that middle of the park who just does a good job for you.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.